Welcome in, everybody, to the 423 Football Podcast. Today is our Week 16 preview show, our 51st show ever. So, kudos to that. We broke the big 5-0 into a big 5-1.
You guys thought we would stop at 50.
Yeah, you thought it was done. But we are back again to give you everything you need for Week 16, break down the matchups. It's championship week. This is where the money is made. If you play for money, maybe you're playing for something else. Just bragging rights.
Just pride.
That's all you ever need. But anyway, I'm your host, Brandon Bouchard, joined by Brett Hamilton.
Hello!
And before we get into the matchups preview, got a little bit of news to talk about. It just broke before we start recording this. Obviously, I hope by now you guys know that we record these on Tuesday and then release them on Wednesday and Thursday. So this is the Thursday episode, obviously. But Thomas Davis, his suspension has been reduced to 1 game after his appeal. And once I told Brett, he was irate.
Yeah. That's just so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. He's okay, this is not the first time he's done this season. I mean, they specifically said that in their letter to him, saying, because you're a repeat offender, the consequences have escalated. So now they've escalated into a 1-game suspension. I mean, they're just falling all over each other. That's embarrassing.
It is. Now, I just kind of, I don't want to say this is the reason why it happened, but honestly, with the NFL, they're just a bunch of inconsistent, subjective, whiny babies at this point. So, Juju, the fact he had 1 game. Thomas Davis obviously has 1 game now. Juju, his block was legal, in my opinion.
I'll
just say that. In my opinion, block was legal. Clearly, his wasn't even to the head. It was led with his shoulder.
But it was still Vontae was still a part of the play. Yeah,
part of the play. He led with his shoulder, not his helmet. Now, Juju stands over the guy and kind of taunts him a little bit. Yeah. Now, Thomas Davis, his hit was the clear definition of what we see targeting is called in college football.
Yeah, if it was college football, he would have got ejected for targeting.
But clearly, there's no rule against using your shoulder like Juju did. There is clearly a rule about using the crown of your helmet like Thomas Davis did.
Yeah.
They weren't even near the play. Now, Juju, like I said, Juju stood over the guy. Thomas Davis went to the sideline and looked like he was remorseful.
That makes me sick.
Do you think that played a part in how these suspensions were handed out?
Well, yeah. I mean, now that you say that, of course it does, because that's what we've seen all season, is players are being punished based on outcomes.
That's dumb.
It is stupid.
Oh my gosh.
It's the same reason. It's the same different situation, but it's the same reason Jalen Ramsey got ejected.
Yeah.
Because he just somehow caused A.J. Green to go ballistic and try to choke him, and then Jalen Ramsey never threw a punch, never did anything like that, and instantly ejected. Mm-hmm. No reason. And then we see
and they don't get suspended. That's the best part.
Yeah, no, and they didn't get suspended because they were ejected.
Oh my
And
God.
Players get punished based on outcomes like that. I mean, you've seen other players this season get suspensions because they caused a concussion. But if that player hadn't been concussed, if they would have just got up and walked off, would the punishment be different? I think it would be.
Honestly, this is no different than say just an offensive lineman holds a defensive end on the way around. Obviously, you got one. Okay, well, say it's just back-to-back plays. You say we put one guy left tackle in, say David Bakhtiari. I'll mention him because just Packers are on my mind. Left tackle, David Bakhtiari. This is perfect for this weekend. Actually, they're going up against the Vikings. Everson Griffin. Yeah. David Bakhtiari holds Everson Griffin on the first play of the game. Obviously, that's a flag. They throw it. Everything. It's fine. Nothing goes wrong. Next play, he holds him again. They throw the flag again. This time, Everson Griffin goes to the ground on the hold and maybe breaks his collarbone or something like that.
Yeah.
This is basic. Why? Like, literally, the NFL's reasoning I'm saying how bizarre their reasoning is.
Yeah.
On all these hits. In the NFL's eyes, why wouldn't David Bakhtiari be suspended for that? Just because the outcome happened to be he got hurt. Mm-hmm. It's just they're going.
That's how they're dishing out punishments right now.
Just because someone gets hurt on a play doesn't mean the act that you performed was illegal. That's what I hated. Like, obviously, we don't see it as much now, but like defenseless receivers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Refs just throw the flag because it's a hard hit.
Yeah.
It's not. You have to look and see if it's a legal hit. Just because they can hit harder than another player doesn't mean they should be suspended or penalized for that. It's dumb. It's ignorant. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense at all. But
there's no consistency around that.
None whatsoever. All right. Before we get into the matchups preview, which is the main part of this show, we are sipping on a little beer today. It's an oldie, but a goodie. Yeehaw Pale Ale. I'll crack mine open. Yours is already cracked and ready to go.
Yeah, it's ready to rock and roll. Yeehaw is a very close brewery, just about 30 minutes down the road from us. But it's only available in, I think the far west is Nashville.
Nashville?
I think, because they're in Bridgestone Arena.
They are. They're in Nissan, too.
They are?
For all those for all those Titans fans. I
didn't know they were actually in that.
Yeah, they're in the Titans Stadium.
I don't think it's gone any further west than Nashville. So you've got a pretty limited availability if you're listening from another state.
Yeah.
But
slowly, it's blowing up.
It really
quickly.
is. Yeah, it's gone. They have their own microbrewery inside Bristol Motor Speedway, which is very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have an entire deck like in Bristol Motor Speedway, which whatever you think about NASCAR, that's impressive that you can just pay for that.
Yeah, but again, shout out to Steele, who's obviously providing us with this delicious beer. Pale Ale is still one of my favorites. It took me a while to grow into or come around to the Yeehaw beer craze, but I like the Pale Ale quite a bit. And again,
it is one of the better Pale Ales I've
Yeehaw.
had. Yeah, that's what it meant.
You'll say it when you drink it.
You'll say it when you drink it. But, even all of that, we're not sponsored by Josh Still.
We are not yet. No sponsors whatsoever. We just like drinking the beer that is provided to us.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Before we get into the matches preview, I told Brett about this story a little bit ago. Obviously, we have, every now and then, obviously we're here to talk about football, but weird things happen in our lives here and there, and I just thought it was kind of funny and bizarre. Well, more creepy than bizarre, or than funny. But so this morning, or Tuesday morning, I was lying in bed, like sound asleep. I said early morning before, but
define early morning for the listeners.
Okay, early morning for me. Obviously, school's over at this point.
Don't preface this.
I'm justifying it.
That's not justification.
I'm justifying it.
Oh my gosh.
School is over. I'm only really working like 3 or 4 days a week at this point.
Don't justify it.
I work every day on this podcast. Every single day. But anyway, so early morning, 11.
11 a.m. is what he quoted to me as early morning.
All right, so 11 a.m. I'm sound asleep. And obviously, hey, I stayed up very late. It was not a early night, so
no, I have no doubt.
11 a.m. I'm sound asleep, and all of a sudden, I sleep down in my basement, or in our basement, and that's where my room is. So all of a sudden the lights come on in the basement, and no one does that. No one in my family does that.
Everyone knows you sleep past 11 o'clock.
Well, everyone knows if you notice someone's sleeping, you don't just flip lights on. That's like the worst. I'd rather you pour a bucket of water on me than turn the lights on.
false, but that's okay.
No, that is 100% true. But anyway.
That's the worst.
The lights come on, and then all of a sudden, this guy comes walking through, like, the basement. Like, he just comes walking around the corner, and, like, I'm, like, half asleep and everything, and I don't know what the heck's going on. And I try to, like, focus, and he's like, yo, what's up, man? I was like, what? And then I finally, like, I read his shirt, and I see what he's doing, and it's, like, the bug man, like, the... whatever you call him. There's a word for that. Exterminator.
Exterminator.
There, yeah. I got there. Exterminator. He's an exterminator, and he's going around spraying stuff all over the room. But I was like, this is... And he tried to have a conversation with me. Like I'm just
that's even weirder.
I'm dead asleep. I'm basically half naked, just trying to sleep. The lights come on. This dude, who I had no idea who he is, comes walking around the room, spraying this stuff, trying to have a conversation with me. And I was like, that's one of the creepier situations I've ever had in my life.
That is not a way that I would really love to wake up.
That, without question, that's the weirdest way I've woken up. Just some random dude walking through my house, spraying bugs. But honestly, he might not have even been a bug or exterminator.
That could have just been a cover.
Just could have been a cover. He's trying to scout out my basement. But anyway. That was my little diatribe and anecdote for the episode. Okay, Week 16 matchups preview. Back to football. Championship week, as we mentioned countless times. First game on Saturday, Colts versus Ravens. Colts are producing almost no fantasy value at this point.
No, none of them.
I would not. If you're in the fantasy playoffs, do not start any Colts. Ravens still trying to get a playoff spot, so they're still fighting for something. They're going to be playing hard. Joe Flacco may be a sneaky play. He had a good game last week. I still don't like any of the pass catchers. Maybe Benjamin Watson at tight end, but not really looking there. Alex Collins had a bad week last week, but if I was still going to rank the Ravens running backs, I'd definitely go Alex Collins. I think he's going to have a good game, actually, against the Colts.
Yeah.
Then Danny Woodhead, then Buck Allen, but I temper expectations with Woodhead and Allen because, I don't know, not the best. They're not the most trustworthy guys, especially if you're playing in your championship.
I don't think the game flow is going to be there for either of those guys.
No, Alex Collins, I think, has a great game, and the game flow, like you mentioned,
yep.
I think it's going to be fantastic. I got the Ravens winning this one.
I also have the Ravens. Oh, speaking of pick'ems, I made up some more ground over the weekend.
Now? Is it even possible for me to catch up?
No.
Not even possible?
Well, I mean, everything's possible. I mean, there's 16
improbable.
games.
It's highly improbable.
If we disagreed on all 16 games this weekend, you could. Yeah.
Well, I need you to tell me which games or what your picks are first.
You're down by 120 points.
Oh god.
So you've got to get 12 games on me.
Well, we go to 17 in this because that actually matters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because this isn't fantasy. It's just to pick them.
We'll see how that goes. We'll keep you up to date, but it's not looking good for me. I have not gained any ground.
No.
Next game, Vikings and Packers. Again, it's going to be Saturday night. In fact, Vikings are trying to improve their playoff seeding, while the Packers have officially been eliminated from the playoffs for the first time since Aaron Rodgers' first year as a starter.
That's a crazy record.
It is. I think the record for most years in a row for the playoffs is 9, I believe. So this was 8. The Packers had 8, and the Patriots also had 8. So
who had 9?
I think the Patriots the first time around.
Okay.
Or I think the Patriots and the 49ers actually are tied for that. But Patriots can get 9 again this year. Actually, they already have gotten 9.
They've clinched.
They've clinched. So, yeah, incredible run by the Packers. Obviously, if Aaron Rodgers wasn't hurt, that record would still be alive, but that remains to be seen. Good matchup for the Vikings in this one. Latavius Murray or Jerick McKinnon in this one. Latavius still had the better game last week. McKinnon got a little more involved. But the Packers have been, like, when it comes to those just straightforward, like I said last week, they, like, straightforward runners, they've been good against them. It's the pass catchers and, like, the guys who catch screens out of the backfield that have given them problems. So maybe McKinnon gets even more work this week. But who do you like more?
Maybe I'm still going to put put the money on Latavius Murray. I mean, the Packers have been pretty good against the runners, but you've seen players like Peyton Barber had a great game when we were there in Green Bay.
But that's what I'm saying. He's more like McKinnon than he is Murray.
Peyton Barber?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't put him in McKinnon's role.
Murray doesn't catch passes at all. He's not. I'm not.
No.
But Barber catches more than people think. He catches.
Yeah.
I mean,
I guess you could, but he had a couple of good runs just straight up.
Yeah.
Through the line.
Yeah, but most of his fantasy production came off those screens, and Murray's not catching any screens.
No.
And last week, Jonathan Stewart, he didn't do much of anything. McCaffrey was the guy getting all the work.
No, that's true. I'd still have to go with Murray. Jerick McKinnon's just kind of some weeks he'll have the upper hand, and some weeks he'll goose you. I mean,
he's a novelty play.
yeah. And if you're in the championship, I don't think you can rely on. I'm not terribly excited about either one, honestly, because it's so up in the air. It could go either way. But if I had to put money on it, I'd choose Latavius.
Yeah, I still think one of the guys I think is gonna have a pretty good game.
Yeah, usually, with these running back, I don't know if it's a running back committee, but usually with players like this, it's odd for like one player to have an amazing game and one for just have absolutely nothing. But that's how this has been ever since Dalvin Cook went down.
Yeah.
It's been one or the other, never both.
Yep. Adam Thielen, I think he's going to have a great game in this one. He should be fine. Stephon Diggs, I think he's going to... I will say I'm not 100% sure which one's going to be matched up on Demarius Randall.
I was assuming that Adam Thielen would be matched up with Demarius Randall, but I don't know.
I think Diggs will.
You're the resident Packers guru, so I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, Randall is. I'm not. I mean, it's crazy that we're putting him. I don't want to put him in the category of like that shutdown corner, like we're talking about with like Jalen Ramsey or Peterson or anyone like that. But
yeah, he's done very well.
He's done fantastic. I mean,
not the whole year, but
not the whole year. Well, he's
in
done
recent weeks.
His entire career has been just completely up and down. He's looked fantastic one week and then garbage the next.
Yeah, but right now he's pretty consistent.
He's been playing very well. So maybe temper your expectations if you're starting Stephon Diggs. I still think Adam Thielen is going to be fine.
Yep.
Case Keenum, fine streamer in this one. No problem doing that. Kyle Rudolph, we're still going to have to monitor his ankle because I guarantee he's sore. He's going to be sore. He's probably not going to practice that much this week. But he should be fine. And Packers have been good against tight ends regardless, or not counting last week. But Kyle Rudolph, I think he's an okay play here. On the Packers side of the ball, tough matchup for the Packers. Won't be any easier after finding out Aaron Rodgers has been shut down for the year. So it's going to be Brett Hundley. Are you starting any Packers?
No. I mean, Devontae Adams has been the only one that you can consistently rely on.
And he's probably not going to play.
He'll probably not play. I'm not... the Vikings defense, I'm not looking to play Jamal Williams. I'm not looking to stream Brett Hundley against the Vikings defense.
Yeah.
Just doesn't look good for the Packers offense as far as fantasy relevancy this week.
Yeah, I'm not saying start any of, or I'm saying, avoid your Packer players if you're like in like legit like fantasy or championship or anything like that. But I have a feeling in this game it's going to be the Packers are going to play it very, very weird. Hundley might not even play the whole game. Joe Callahan might get in there. I don't even know if Jordy's will play or anything like that. Jeff Janis might get out there, and maybe if you're in like playing like daily fantasy sports, FanDuel, DraftKings, something like that, maybe take a flyer on like Trevor Davis or Jeff Janis. They could actually show up. It could be. It's going to be basically like a preseason game almost for the Packers.
That's what it's going to feel like.
Vikings defense, I think, is a good play though.
Yep.
They should be very, very safe. Winner of this game, who you got?
Well, I have the Vikings, and I have no doubt who you are picking.
I gotta stick with the Packers.
Never bet against your own team.
Yeah, but hey, I will say there are a few games this week where obviously teams have already like locked up playoff spots.
Yeah, that's true.
Or close to locking up playoff spots, and these lower level teams that have been knocked out, they kind of want to knock them out. They want to knock them down in the seeds or something like that.
Well, you saw the game that the Buccaneers just put on against the Falcons.
Very true.
The Buccaneers have zero chance. They have had zero chance for the past 2 weeks.
Yep.
And they still were a field goal away from tying that game and singing it into overtime.
Yeah, and we saw the Dolphins a few weeks ago against the Patriots. Yep. Things can happen.
Yep.
They're not playing for anything. They got nothing to lose.
Yep.
Browns versus Bears.
I'm so excited.
I don't even want to talk about it. That was a great segue. Nothing to lose. Browns versus Bears. Okay, just gross. Just nothing good here.
Oh my gosh.
I'll just say we'll go through this one quick. Isaiah Crowell, I got him over Duke Johnson in this game.
Oh yeah.
Josh Gordon, Corey Coleman. Who you taking?
Corey Coleman.
All right, and it's a decent matchup for Jordan Howard. That's pretty much, we listed every fantasy relevant player in this game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
None of the quarterbacks. You're not starting the quarterbacks.
No.
That's it.
Yeah.
Actually, I will mention David Njoku, tight end for the Browns. Think he might be sneaky, maybe daily fantasy. Do not start him in your championship. Do not.
No.
I am actually taking the Browns.
You think the Browns get their first win?
I think this will be the game.
Well, I'm going to go Bears. I think that it is going to be a truly 0-16 season for the Browns.
Granted, if the Browns are smart, they want that first pick, they need to lose this. So there's absolutely, if they lose this one, they officially have the first pick. I'm pretty sure. So
yeah. Well, I'm actually gonna pick Josh Gordon over Corey Coleman. I went back and thought about it. I think Josh Gordon's been the leading receiver for the Browns ever since he came back. Right?
I don't know. Corey Coleman's been. I think he's outscored him in the past 2 weeks in fantasy.
Okay, in fantasy. Okay.
And see, it's very peculiar because Josh Gordon, obviously, he's the big hype guy, but Corey Coleman, he came back almost identical, or the almost identical time frame that Gordon was, and I don't know. Corey Coleman's looked just as good as Josh Gordon.
Yeah, I really like Corey Coleman. I mean, it's the Browns. There's not a whole lot to get excited about because they don't score that many touchdowns. So. I mean, you're just playing the yardage game. Yeah.
All right, Lions and Bengals. Lions are fighting for a wild card spot while the Bengals look completely lost. Matthew Stafford, Golden Tate, Marvin Jones. I think they're all fine plays. Are you starting any Lions running backs?
I would probably, in a pinch, I would start Theo Riddick. Yeah.
I agree. I'm done with Amir Abdullah.
I think that team is done with him. He has not done what he is supposed to do this whole season.
He hasn't stayed healthy, and even when he gets the touches, it's not impressive.
And Theo Riddick's look better. I mean, if you're just comparing apples to apples, both of them, Theo Riddick is the better running back now.
Without question. Bengals side of the ball, Joe Mixon should be back this week. Not a friendly matchup. I'm really not looking to start Joe Mixon.
No. Not off an injury.
Or Giovanni Bernard, for that matter.
It's too risky.
Sitting AJ Green again? You sitting him again? I sat him last week, playing Darius, or he got shut down by Xavier Rhodes last week. He's got Darius Slay this week.
I will sit him all day against Darius Slay.
Darius Slay.
All he does is slay. I mean, it's incredible how well he's played this season. I mean, he's shut down everybody.
Yeah, and that's why AJ Green was my stock down last episode.
Because of his matchups.
Because of the matchups. I got the Lions winning this one.
Oh, yeah, I got the Lions.
Rams versus Titans. Rams coming off an all-time beatdown of the Seattle Seahawks.
That was disgusting.
My word.
I felt bad. I physically felt ill for Russell Wilson and that whole offense.
I think this is the passing of the torch in that division. I think the Rams are the clear team to beat in that division now.
Right now they are, for sure.
Seahawks, I'm scared that they're going to...
I don't know what their problem is.
I am terrified for them that they are about to become not even the second best team in that division. I think the 49ers, obviously there is a ton of work to be made.
Yeah.
They have their coach of the future. They have their GM of the future. They have their quarterback of the future. They have a ton of talent on their defensive front.
Yeah.
They are very, very close to being a top tier team. It's just it's going to take some time, but we're going to see that.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with how Jimmy G has come in and just been good. I mean, it's just like he's not making stupid decisions. He's not making a ton of mistakes. I mean, to go from a backup of a really good football team where you saw zero action.
Yep.
You saw he played for like a few, like 4 games whenever Brady had to serve a suspension. That was it. He's just played preseason. And to come in and be this, like, just confident and make good passes, make good decisions, and lead a football team is really impressive.
Yeah, and and I will say the Cardinals are probably on the lower end. I think I have more faith in the Niners and the Cardinals moving forward. But the Cardinals, I mean, they have a bunch of talent as well. They just need a quarterback.
They have David Johnson.
Who
has not played.
It'd be a totally different story.
That's a game changer for that team.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks are in a ton of trouble.
Yeah.
And
they're going to have some work on the offseason.
All 3 of those other teams, aside from the Seahawks, have a ton of cap space.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
They can spend like crazy. The Seahawks have to sell.
Yeah, they do.
They have to sell, and they are
They're going to have some really tough decisions in the offseason. It's going to be really interesting to watch.
It's going to be weird. But anyway, back to this game, Rams and Titans. Titans look. I think this is the start of the collapse of their season. They've got the Rams this week, the Jags next week. I don't think the Titans are making the playoffs. No. I really don't. I think they're going to lose both of these games. They just have to win one to get in.
Yeah.
But I think they lose both.
It's actually really surprising that they're that close to the playoffs because when I think about the Titans, I do not think of
like garbage.
I don't think of a playoff caliber team. They're not good.
They look like garbage.
And I don't know how they're this close to a playoff berth. I have no idea. Marcus Mariota, I like the guy, but he's like in the same category as Jameis Winston right now. He's young. They're from the same class. They have different personalities and different Achilles heels. I think Mariota doesn't take enough risk, and I think that's one of his big things. And I think Jameis Winston is just too unpredictable, as in you never know what he's going to do and make some stupid decision, almost too risky. But they're in the same where they're young, and they've really got to prove that they can be a franchise quarterback at this point.
Yeah. But anyway, this game, Rams-Titans, great matchup for the Rams. Todd Gurley, you're obviously starting him. He's my number 1 running back this week.
Yeah.
Robert Woods, clear number 1 wide receiver when he plays for the Rams. I think he has a good game here. Jared Goff, okay streamer. I'm perfectly fine doing that. Any Titans you were willing to start in your fantasy championship against the Rams?
No.
There's some hesitation there.
The only Titan, every time I hear about the Titans, the only one
the names are so exciting.
Yeah, I know. The only names that I am at this point in the season willing to play is Delaney Walker. Mostly because the tight end position this year has been awful.
Yeah.
And there are a lot worse options out there than Delaney Walker. So I would play him just because he's a really good tight end, and tight ends aren't that great this year for fantasy. So, but other than that, no, absolutely not.
I love the Rams defense in this game, by the way, if you're looking for a defense.
Yes.
Most likely the Rams are owned, however, though. But I'm taking the Rams in this one.
Oh, yeah, Rams all the way.
Dolphins and Chiefs. Kenyon Drake looks to be locking up that number 1 running back role.
Which he should.
Yes. Damian Williams may be back this week. We're going to have to monitor that, but I still think Kenyon Drake at this point is going to get the clear majority of the work. It might hinder his value a little bit, but I still like Kenyon Drake.
He's earned the starting job.
Oh, yeah. Jarvis Landry, okay play. No problem starting him. He's been pretty reliable throughout the year, especially in PPR. Chiefs side of the ball, love Kareem Hunt in this game. I'm still mad that I'm not in my championship this week just solely because I have Kareem Hunt, and it's basically just for nothing. I really want to use Kareem Hunt in the championship, and
you should drop him and let one of the championship teams pick him up.
I don't think I'll do that. But anyway, love Kareem Hunt. Expect big games from Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce as well. Alex Smith, again, I think is an okay streamer.
Yep.
I got the Chiefs.
I have the Chiefs as well.
The Chiefs. Okay, Bills and Patriots. A lot on the line here, actually. Bills trying to keep playoff hopes alive, and Bills might possibly knock the Patriots out of the number 1 seed. So don't count out the Bills just yet. The LaShawn McCoy is still the only Bill I want to play in fantasy.
Yeah,
maybe
no wide receivers.
Maybe Tyrod Taylor in a deep league play.
I don't think so.
Not even a deep league.
In a 2 quarterback league, possibly. But for instance, I am in a 2 quarterback league, and I'm playing. I have Kirk Cousins, Jameis Winston, and Tyrod Taylor. I am picking up Nick Foles to play over Jameis. And so I will be playing Kirk Cousins and Nick Foles over.
See, I'd rather start Winston. If I was out of those 4 that you mentioned, you said Winston, Taylor.
Wait, I messed that up. Hang on. What did I say?
Okay,
because that didn't sound right.
Well, you said the 4 names were what? Winston, Foles, Taylor, and Cousins, and you got to play 2.
Yes, I'm playing Winston and Foles. Sorry.
Okay,
not Cousins.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say I'd take Tyrod over Cousins, or Tyrod Taylor over Cousins.
Yeah. So I'll have okay.
And I might take him over Winston, but that's borderline. It's very close. Anyway, I expect a huge game on the Patriots side of the ball for Rob Gronkowski. I think he's going to be pretty much the focal point of the offense in this one. Brandon Cooks, okay play. He's still boom or bust. I really, really hate starting players like that in my fantasy championship. Mm-hmm. If you have a solid team around, like all around, then yeah, Brandon Cooks I'm perfectly fine with. But again, he could. This is what he does. He could disappear in this game and ruin your fantasy championship. I do not like having boom bust players in my championship unless I have a very, very solid team around them.
Very true.
Now, Rex Burkhead is not going to be playing this game, so Deion Lewis, his value goes up. He's going to be the starter. James White, his value back to what it used to be. And then Mike Gillislee, maybe. But no, you're not starting Mike Gillislee. I think James White is fine in PPR. Deion Lewis, standard all the way. Now, Tom Brady. Any worry again? We got the Bills this week.
No.
He can't put up 20 points.
Yes, he can against the Bills. The Bills defense. I have no faith in the Bills defense.
Now, don't give me the argument about the teams because they're in the Bills and Dolphins and Jets. They're in his division. It's been 5 years. Like I said, I gave you that stat.
I hate that stat.
Since 2012 in December.
Oh my gosh.
He's only put up one 20-point fantasy point game. And he plays the Bills, Jets, Dolphins in December. They're in his division. Those games are obviously going to be late in the season. So he's done this before. And
I understand. There's the chance that he performs poorly for fantasy owners. I'm saying the Bills' defense is bad. Tom Brady is good.
Yes.
He will score at least 20 points this game.
Are we going to make another bet?
If you're willing, I am perfectly willing to make this bet.
We'll come back to this because I don't want to. Okay, no. We'll just say Tom Brady over
20. Yeah,
Tom
20
Brady
fantasy points.
over under 20 fantasy points.
Yep, I'm more than happy.
Okay, you can put that beer bet. Just put it on the board.
Yep.
All right. I got the. This another one. Another game. I said Patriots pretty much locked it up. They might be sleeping a little bit. So I'm going to actually take the Bills in this one.
Definitely not. I think the Patriots hate the Bills, and they'll be more than willing to run them out of the stadium.
And I am hoping that I'm just making contrarian picks to catch up with you and pick them. So.
Oh, okay. Well, that is also true.
Yeah. So
you need that.
Yeah, I do. Falcons and Saints, huge playoff implicating game for the NFC. I expect a very high scoring game. The over-under is actually 52.5. Any game over 50 is crazy. 52.5 is just unprecedented.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But plenty of fantasy points to go around. Julio Jones, Devonta Freeman, they're probably my top guys for the Falcons. Do you trust Matt Ryan at all in this game? He's looked not great, even though the rest of the team has been able to put up fancy numbers.
Yeah, I don't. If you have Matt Ryan, I think you're playing him. I mean, there's no one that I would pick up over him.
I'd start Bortles over him.
At this point, can he pick up Bortles, though?
Maybe.
What's his ownership percentage?
I don't know exactly, but he was...
I thought it was well over 50.
No, it's under 50, because I had him in the waiver wire column last week.
I would play Bortles over
I'd start
him.
Foles over Ryan.
Yeah, if Foles wasn't picked up, yeah, I would. I can't think of anyone else that I would though.
I could probably list 10 guys I'd start over Matt Ryan this
Really?
week though. Yeah.
I mean, the Saints defense. I mean, they've been crazy. I mean, it's been a really good season for the Saints. But Matt Ryan has Julio Jones, so I mean,
No.
hey, he's gonna score a touchdown. So
You're obviously on the Saints side of the ball. Well, actually, before I move on, Tevin Coleman, we're going to have to monitor that situation.
Yeah.
Concussion, he might be back. I think he could be an okay play if you're looking at him. Obviously, starting Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara.
Yep,
every single week.
no question.
Well, I'm pretty sure I've said that every week. Michael Thomas, he's a fine play.
Yeah.
Not really worried there. Now, I said trust Matt Ryan. Do you trust Drew Brees? They're honestly about the same boat. They haven't.
Yeah.
They've both been kind of disappointing this year.
I would trust Drew Brees a little more than Matt Ryan, I would say.
I agree with that.
Just barely, though.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, I mean, we're seeing a different type of Saints offense now with these two powerhouse running backs. They're just playing lights out. Drew Brees doesn't have to throw bombs and win games through the air. I mean, it's just, which is fine for the Saints. Terrible for fantasy owners who own Drew Brees. So I would trust Drew Brees a little bit more than Matt Ryan. And I mean, it's a huge division rivalry game that could end up being really high scoring. So both ways you could come out really on top.
Yeah, I love the running backs a lot more than the any of the passing game this week.
Yep.
I got the Saints winning this one.
I have the Falcons.
All right, let's see. Oh, God, we got to pick this up. We're going slow today.
I know.
But anyway, Chargers, Jets. Chargers still fighting for a playoff spot in the AFC. Keenan Allen dealing with a back injury. He should be back. We're just going to have to monitor that. You never know. Melvin Gordon, must start. Phillip Rivers, I think he's an okay start against the Jets. Hunter Henry, we've already seen him placed on the IR, so maybe Antonio Gates out there. If Keenan Allen sits, Tyrell Williams might be a good option. Maybe Travis Benjamin.
Yeah. Not too excited about Antonio Gates. You know, we've seen him not do well when Hunter Henry doesn't do well. I mean, it's not like he's locked and loaded to take over that number one tight end position and score a bunch of points.
Yeah. Are you starting any Jets at all?
I would say no.
No.
Not against the Chargers.
Nope.
Nope.
And Robbie Anderson, even if you're inclined to start him, Casey Hayward going to shut him down, it's not going to matter.
That was the one Jet player I was thinking about was Robbie Anderson. And then I thought about Casey Hayward, and I said, nope. No, thank you.
I got the Chargers.
Chargers, yeah.
Broncos, Redskins, Brock Osweiler, I assume will get the start.
Still not confirmed, but...
Still not confirmed. Are you willing to start him? 22 points last week.
Against the Redskins...
It's not a bad matchup.
Not bad. I would consider if I was in dire situations.
2 QB leagues, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, maybe Tyrod Taylor or Brock Osweiler.
That's a good one.
I never thought I'd have to ask that. What is this? What has become of this show?
Honestly, I'd say Brock Osweiler.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. CJ Anderson, I think he's an okay play here against the Redskins. Let's go back to it. You want to make another beer bet? This is gonna be
no.
It's gonna be Brock Osweiler.
I don't feel strongly about that. I just had to pick one. No, I was just felt forced to pick one. I'm not confident like that.
I'm in the betting mood today.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine, but pick one that I'm like convicted about.
You sounded pretty sure about Osweiler.
No, I'm not sure about Osweiler.
Oh, Osweiler Tyrod beer bet. That'd be incredible.
No,
but CJ Anderson, I think he's an okay play. Redskins. Just meh on defense. Are you starting any Broncos pass catcher?
I'd start Demaryius Thomas.
He's going to have Josh Norman most likely.
I know. But Brock Osweiler, if you're going by quarterback tendencies, he does target Demaryius Thomas, and I'll take the target share if I just had to pick one of the receivers.
Okay. Difficult matchup for the Redskins. Are you willing to start any Redskins this week? Samaje Perine the only one I'm even looking at. But
yeah,
I'm really
that's the one that I was thinking about, but it's a terrible matchup for him. Probably not. Probably not even Samaje.
Not in your championship.
No.
I got the Broncos winning this one.
I do have the Broncos. Yep.
All right,
Led
Buccaneers.
by Brock Osweiler.
Yeah. Oh, I never thought I'd be talking positively about Brock Osweiler. But anyway, Buccaneers, Panthers, not a game with that big of implications.
Says you.
But I know the Bucs would love to end on a high note and possibly knock the Panthers out of the playoffs.
Golly.
Difficult.
Couldn't be any sweeter.
Oh yeah, difficult matchup for the Buccaneers. Do you think Mike Evans is back to being fantasy relevant again?
Yes. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm sad that he was ever out of fantasy relevancy.
True.
But no. I mean, the talent's always been there. Oh, yeah, we just gotta mention the touchdown catch.
Incredible.
Wow.
Incredible touchdown catch.
No way Jameis should have ever thrown that unless he was throwing it to Jameis. Unless he was throwing it to Mike Evans.
Literally, Julio had one almost identical
to
this.
Yeah, it was.
He did not get that one. Mike Evans just went up and manhandled
it. He went beast mode. I mean, it was awesome. I think Mike Evans is a fine play. You're not sitting him, especially after that performance.
Yeah.
He's got some fight in him left in the season.
Yeah, Peyton Barber, he's the running back to own. Obviously, Doug Martin might have seen his last snaps for the Buccaneers.
Yeah, they held him out, or he didn't dress out because of a team violation that was undisclosed.
Yep.
Could just be that they don't want to play him.
Dirk Cutter hates him.
Yes, he does. And honestly, I can't blame Dirk Cutter on that. I mean, he's done nothing this season. I mean, it's just been really disappointing. He had a really fantastic first game that made me think really positive about the future of the Buccaneers for the season. And he just really let everyone down. So It's a rough situation. Peyton Barber looks pretty good.
Yeah. Deshaun Jackson, O.J. Howard, in walking boots. We're going to have to monitor that.
They're actually walking in the same boot.
They're walking in the same boot right now. They're
2 feet in one boot.
It's like the three-legged race. But is Cameron Braid, I know, got banged up in that game as well, but he came back in, I believe.
He did.
Okay,
yeah.
So I think
he came back in the fourth quarter. I think he's going to be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. Cam Newton, I think he's a great play in this one. You're rolling him out there, obviously coming off a great performance last week. Devin Funchess looks to bounce back. I think he will. Greg Olsen, I think he'll have a decent game. Not what he had last week. I think Funchess gets a little more targets than he did.
And the Buccaneers starting safety, strong safety, Justin Evans, got placed on the IR today.
Banged up.
Yeah, they were like every other play. There's a Buccaneers player getting off the field, so that was frustrating. I think they've got like one starting offensive lineman left. It's because J.R. Sweezy went out too, and he missed the whole season last year. So
anyway, Christian McCaffrey I have over Jonathan Stewart in this one.
I do too.
So Panthers I got winning.
I never bet against your own team.
Sound like Yoda right there. Panthers I got winning. Speaking of
Panthers, I have
Last Jedi. What?
Yeah, go see it. Go see it.
We already saw it. There's been literally anyone I've talked to either says it's like the greatest thing they've ever seen or the worst Star Wars they've ever seen.
I actually haven't talked to a single person who didn't like it.
That's what I like. It's not.
I don't know who you're talking to.
Maybe I'm talking to the wrong people, but I thought it was. It's not my favorite Star Wars by any means, but it's not the worst by any means.
No,
like it's about middle of the pack for me.
Middle?
Yeah,
I put it up there. Yeah,
I like Force Awakens more. I like probably I like 2 of the 3 originals more.
2, you like A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah. No, I like Return of the Jedi.
Oh, really? I didn't like that one. It's tough. If I was playing fantasy football with this one, I would draft The Last Jedi over all the other movies besides The Empire Strikes Back and The Force Awakens.
Okay.
So it's a solid third for me.
Okay. But yeah, I mean...
Which I guess technically is the middle of the pack.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's the upper echelon.
Yeah, Last Jedi, I mean, it's good.
You should watch it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Star Wars, so go see it. Yeah. I mean, don't complain. Don't be ticky-tacky about it. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to football. We said we are going to move fast, and then we get off on a Star Wars tangent.
Yeah.
Jaguars, Niners, fantasy football dream matchup for the Jaguars here. Leonard Fournette, quad injury last week, sat out the past 2 weeks, actually. Expected to be back. Marquise Lee dealing with an ankle injury. We're going to have to monitor that. D.D. Westbrook or Keenan Cole? Who do you want in this game?
D.D. Westbrook.
All right.
Even though he had the worst game this past week, I'm not scared because I think he's better.
All right. Blake Bortles, perfectly fine play here. I know everyone's still kind of wary just seeing the name Bortles.
Don't be scared.
Just seeing the name Bortles, people get scared.
The team is good.
And
just come to grips with it.
Bortles has been the best quarterback in the league in the past 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah.
Like it's been like 12 touchdowns to 0 interceptions. Yeah. 0 interceptions for Blake Bortles.
That's dumb.
That is incredible.
But don't be afeared.
Don't be afeared. Are you starting any 49ers? There's been some exciting ones pop up, but the Jags defense...
No, not against the Jaguars.
Not in your championship. Jags defense, I think, is a great play here.
Yes.
I think they're
a great play.
I think this is going to be a very, very good test for for Jimmy Garoppolo.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Jags winning.
Jags, yep.
Seahawks, Cowboys, both teams fighting for a wild card spot. Seahawks look to be collapsing at the moment, while the Cowboys are set to explode with the return of Ezekiel Elliott. So, obviously, you're starting Zeke. It's a pretty good matchup for both sides, just for the offenses. Neither defense is that great. If I had to choose between Russell Wilson or Dak Prescott, I'd probably go Russell Wilson. What do you think, Russell?
I would say Russell Wilson. I don't think the Cowboys' defense is that good, except for Sean Lee. Also, I wanted to say there was... I read something funny. You probably read the same thing today. Jason Garrett, in an interview or a press conference or whatever, he said he didn't know what Zeke's role would be in this week.
Wink, wink.
Yeah, it was like you are just total. You just put up a smoke grenade.
You're just trolling. You're just trolling them.
You're just trying to throw everybody off. Don't take any note to that.
No.
Zeke is going to be there 100%.
Yeah, start Zeke. He's a top 5 back this week, without question. I think he's going to blow it for 200-plus yards, honestly. I think he
very, very well could.
Des Bryant, Jason Witten, they've been very, very up and down, but I think one of those guys is going to do well. If I was going to be safe, I'd start Witten and then bench Des, because just Witten filling up a tight end slot is a lot safer than Des taking up a wide receiver slot.
True.
Do you expect Doug Baldwin to bounce back in this one? It's pretty
bounce back as in I don't have super high expectations for him.
Well, bounce back as in better than 6 yards.
Yeah, a little bit better than 6 yards.
Hey, if he would have had 8 more yards, I would have won.
Also, he had 1 catch for 6 yards. He had 7 more yards than Jimmy Graham.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a really humorous stat.
I don't know if I can take that Seahawks Rams game as what it is. If I should take it
I don't know how much you should panic.
Yeah.
That's
or
the
if
question.
it's just a fluke. But anyway.
Yeah.
Are you Jimmy Graham? I think he's going to bounce back as well.
Yeah, I'd
be okay starting
confident with him.
Are you starting Mike Davis?
Probably not. I don't like it.
Yeah,
it's too risky.
Yeah, and Sean Lee again. It's a totally different defense than Sean Lee out there.
It completely runs through him.
I do want to say Tyrone Smith. He could miss this game with a knee injury. We saw. I don't think I've seen a left tackle play as poorly as I don't even know his name.
You don't need to.
Yeah, the Cowboys' left tackle replacement.
It's really
I don't
bad.
think I've ever seen a left tackle play that bad.
It's like an open window whenever he's playing.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They could put anybody else over there. I don't know why they haven't, but
I don't know either.
Regardless of that, I got the Cowboys winning.
I have the Seahawks.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Giants, Cardinals. Cardinals looked surprisingly good last week, or Giants looked surprisingly good last week on offense, so maybe some points to be had here.
Yep.
Sterling Shepard maybe sees some Patrick Peterson here and there. I don't think completely, because I think they moved Sterling Shepard around quite a bit, but maybe temper expectations.
Yeah. I'm still willing to start Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, Evan Ingram, I think he's an okay play. Orleans Darkwa, you starting him? It is the Cardinals. They're playing at home. Or Cardinals are playing at home.
I don't think I do. No, I don't think I do. I think he had a really good game this past week, and I don't want to take anything away from that. But I don't like the matchup this week against the Cardinals at home.
All right, Drew Stanton will start after the benching of Blaine Gabbert. Cool. Larry Fitzgerald, I think he's a risky play, but he could go off.
He can always go off at home.
Yeah. I got the Giants winning this one though.
I have the Cardinals.
We're getting some. We're getting different. I'm coming back, baby.
Yeah.
Steelers and Texans Monday Night Football. We actually got 2 Monday Night Football games this week. Yeah, we actually have 2 Monday Night Football games. Steelers and Texans, Raiders and Eagles. So Steelers, Texans. Steelers are to be without Antonio Brown, so there will be a few guys step up in value for this game. If I was going to rank the Steelers pass catchers, I mean, correct me if you think any different, but I got Juju, then Martavis, then Eli Rogers.
Yeah.
For wide receivers, I would say. But I think all these guys, Juju, I love him this week. Absolutely love him.
Yep.
Martavis, I have no problem starting him. And even Eli Rogers, I think, is an okay play.
Yep.
Definitely
the most excited about Juju, though.
Yeah. Jesse James, I think he's a low-end tight end 1. I think he's getting more involved, and with Antonio Brown, targets are going to go somewhere. So Jesse James, I think, is fine. Ben Roethlisberger, you willing to start him? It is on the road.
It's on the road, but it is against the Texans. I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins, I made a horrible mistake last week doubting this man.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins last week going up against the Jags, he did perfectly fine. I think it was like 80 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
He's pretty much matchup proof.
He's matchup approved. No matter what defense he's playing, no matter what defender's in his face, no matter what quarterback is throwing him the ball, he's just a good wide receiver.
Yeah, and I will say last year, I guess, was just kind of like an anomaly.
Yeah.
For Brock. I talked highly on Brock Osweiler just a few minutes ago, but I still think he's a very bad quarterback, and that's what contributed to DeAndre Hopkins' failures last year.
Yeah.
But right now, no one can cover him.
No,
he's
unstoppable.
Incredible.
He burns Patrick Peterson, which nobody does ever. And you saw Jalen Ramsey's been playing lights out this whole season. Had no problem. He had 80 yards and a touchdown. I think I'd take it.
This isn't really fantasy football discussion. I mean, it kind of is, but DeAndre Hopkins, you got to say he's a top 3 receiver at this point, right?
Yeah, just like based on talent or fantasy production.
Both.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'd say that.
Would you put him over Julio?
Not over Julio.
Antonio's obviously 1.
I would put him at 3rd, though. I mean, who would you put above DeAndre Hopkins after Antonio and Julio?
No one.
No one. Yeah.
No one. Like I was going back and forth between DeAndre and Julio.
Yeah.
Because Julio's got a much better situation.
Yeah.
But he's not really producing that well.
That's true. Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins looks fantastic though.
Yep.
Lamar Miller, still not a great play here. I would avoid him if you can. Steelers.
Yeah, I saw him. That was a good call last week.
Yeah, Steelers have been pretty good against the run, and Texans they've lost their way. Other than DeAndre Hopkins. I got the Steelers winning this one.
Steelers, yep.
All right, last game, Raiders and Eagles. Again, Monday Night Football. We got 2 Christmas games. Christmas games. So 2 Christmas games. Raiders, Eagles. Nick Foles is the truth. He is going to lead the Eagles to the Super Bowl. I'm going to say that right now. But anyway, Nick Foles, no problem starting him here. Rank the Eagles pass catchers. Including Ertz at the tight end position. So we got Alshon, Aguilar, Ertz, and you could throw Torrey Smith in there. Why not?
Sure, why not? Oh, gosh.
You can throw Trey Burton in there, too.
There's too many. My number 1, probably Zach Ertz.
I agree.
Because he's going to get the touchdowns. He's a red zone magnet. Number 2 is quite a bit more difficult. I would say for me, I don't know if you feel it different. It's got to be either Alshon or Aguilar.
Oh, yeah.
But
I would go Alshon, then Aguilar, then probably Burton, and then Torrey Smith as like flyers at the end.
Yeah.
I'd go Alshon over Aguilar, though.
Yeah, I would say that's the way I was leaning.
But yeah, Ertz, I like him. Well, one, I think
He has the highest propensity to score a touchdown.
that, and he's a tight end, so it's pretty safe playing the fact that he can do what he can do
Yeah.
at the tight end position is incredible.
Yep.
Now, running backs for the Eagles.
Whew.
We're going to rank these guys as well. J.J., LeGarrette Blount, Corey Clement. Rank them.
J.J. is still number 1 for me.
All right.
Corey Clement may be ahead of LeGarrette Blount at this point.
All right, I got no problem with that.
It's painful for me to say, because we're probably going to owe Peyton a beer, but
hey, LeGarrette Blount. I'm gonna call up Doug Peterson right now.
Just give him the goal line carries.
we need 2 touchdowns. That's all we need. I don't care how they happen. Just give LeGarrette Blount 2 touchdowns.
Hey, maybe after. Oh wait, no, the beer bet ends this game.
It does.
Oh,
it ends week 16.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's going to be tough.
It'd be a really good game for LeGarrette Blount.
I would really like a beer from Peyton. But anyway, Raiders saw the ball. Amari Cooper, ankle. We're going to have to monitor that. Yep. Michael Crabtree, I still think is the best option, but we saw what the Giants did to the Eagles last week in the passing game. So Amari and Crabtree might be okay plays if both of them play. I still like, clearly, Crabtree over Amari, though.
Yep.
I am leaning towards avoiding Marshawn in this one.
I would too. Yeah.
I think if points are going to be had, it's going to be in the passing game for the Raiders. I still don't like Derek Carr, but
no.
Marshawn Lynch, still not much faith in that guy. I got the Eagles winning this one.
Eagles, yep.
All right, starts and sits, and then we'll close this thing out. Quarterback, start of the week. Who you got?
Nick Foles. Ride him to the Super Bowl.
Damn right. I'm going to go with Blake Bortles playing San Francisco. Bortles has been arguably the best quarterback in football and fantasy the past couple weeks. So, Blake Bortles all the way. Running back, who you got?
This one is a gimme, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Ride the Todd Gurley chain as far as you can. Because he's playing Tennessee, and it's going to be awesome.
A little bit of a cop-out, but I have no problem with that. I'm going to go with a cop-out as well. Kareem Hunt playing Miami.
No.
I think Kareem.
No.
I think those two guys, Todd Gurley and Kareem Hunt, are going to be the 2 most popular players on fantasy championship rosters. Yeah. I have no doubt in my mind.
Yep.
Wide receiver, who are you starting?
I'm going to go with a less popular guy. Juju Smith-Schuster against the Texans. With Antonio Brown out, I think he is the number 1 wide receiver there.
No problem there. I'm going to go with Alshon Jeffrey playing Oakland, pairing him with Nick Foles. I mean, why not? I think Alshon's going to have a great game.
Pairing him with the GOAT.
Tight end, who you got?
Greg Olsen versus Tampa Bay. I think he had a fantastic game this past week. The Buccaneers have struggled on defense, and they just lost Justin Evans, who has been a very crucial factor covering the deep ball. So I think Greg Olsen has a couple of long receptions and possibly a touchdown.
All right, I'm going Jimmy Graham. Awful week last week, but I think he bounces back here with the matchup against Dallas. Dallas has some very, very, very small defensive backs and linebackers, so I think Jimmy Graham's going to take advantage of that.
Jimmy Graham is not small.
He is not. Defense, who you starting?
Starting the Rams versus the Titans.
Oh, yeah. I'm going Jags playing the 49ers. I think they dominate that game.
Yep.
Sits at the quarterback position.
Jimmy G, as much love as I have for the man, I do not like him against Jacksonville.
I'm going to sit Marcus Mariota playing the Rams. I think Mariota has one of his worst games, if that's even possible.
I actually don't think that's possible.
Yeah, he has looked atrocious this year. It's not going to change in this matchup. Running back sits.
Marshawn Lynch, we were just talking about him. He's got an unfavorable matchup against the Eagles. I don't have a whole lot of faith in him this week.
I'm going to sit Carlos Hyde playing Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Honestly, we're probably going to be sitting every 49er player. So Carlos Hyde, not liking him against Jacksonville.
Yep.
Wide receivers.
I'm going to take the AJ Green train this week. I know you were kind of mad because I took him this week. You wanted to sit him. You wanted to sit him 2 weeks in a row, which it worked out for you last week. So if it worked out last week against Xavier Rhodes, it's going to work out again this week against Darius Slay. So
Slay, baby, Slay.
All he does is slay.
Yeah, I'm going to go Josh Doxson playing Denver.
Yeah.
Just no.
Just no.
Just no.
Just doesn't happen.
Yeah, no. Tight end sit. Who you
got? Austin Hooper versus the Saints.
Hooper.
If you are tempted to stream Austin Hooper, don't. The Saints defense is really good, and Austin Hooper is he's not consistent. He's not what you want in a championship tight end.
Very true. I'm going Jack Doyle against Baltimore. I think Baltimore dominates this game completely, and they've been very good against tight ends, so not liking Jack Doyle.
I like
sit at the defensive position.
I will sit the Legion of Gloom.
Did you just trademark that?
Yeah, I did. The Legion of Gloom versus the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sorry, but that is no longer the Legion of Boom.
It is,
especially with all
Legion of Gloom.
Yeah, I mean they've had so many key injuries on that defense that it's painful to watch.
Yeah, I'm going to be sitting the Bengals defense against the Lions. I think the Lions run all over them.
I like it.
Not going to be even close.
Nope.
All right, so that is all for today. Make sure you listen to our episode from yesterday. That was our 50th episode. We had, I don't know, we went through the entire week 15 matchup, if I could speak, 15 recap. Yeah, we had standouts.
That's where we talk about the things that have already passed.
Yes, in the past. We had a few debates here and there. Great episode. And again, just thank you to all the listeners who have been keeping up with us.
Yep.
Throughout these 50 episodes.
Yeah.
So
be sure to stick with us through the off season. We'll be here once a week, and as far as the eye can see.
As far as the eye can see. But we will be back tomorrow with our regular Friday show. Maybe have a guest on or something like that. Thursday, or I guess tonight, if you're obviously listening to this on Thursday, we're actually having Kevin's bachelor party, so we will be occupied while that is going on. And again, congrats to Kevin for tying the knot.
Tying the knot. Put a ring on it.
Put a ring on it.
He liked it. He put a ring on it.
Yeah, he's the first one of us to officially do that. So kudos, I guess.
Yep.
But yeah. And again, next week we will be having our regular slate of shows, and then after that is probably, once the playoffs start, that's probably when we're going to start switching to just once a week. So, again, make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the423football. Make sure you like us on Facebook, subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. Give us a like, leave your comments and reviews. Thanks for listening. We are the 423 Football Podcast.
Peace out.